Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and today I'm taking part in the Stamp Around UK blog hop. So this is a group of UK demonstrators, and on the first of every month at 6 o'clock UK time we do a little bit of a video hop, and you'll find links to everybody else down in the description bar. There'll be a list of them, and I'll have the "you are here" next to me so you know where you are in the order to make sure that you get to see everybody. Okay, and we have a theme every month, and this month the theme is the new ink colours. So here's the new ink colours. You've probably seen them. You may even have them. Magenta Madness, Cinnamon Cider, Misty Moonlight, Bumblebee and Just Jade. And I am going to use Magenta Madness and Cinnamon Cider today rather than all of them. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to make. So I'm doing a one sheet wonder. So I'm doing a bit of Christmas in July. I'm using, this is a little bit of a sneak peek as well, the new catalogue's due out on the 4th of August. This is one of the bundles in the new catalogue, Snowflake Wishes and the So Many Snowflakes dies. Absolutely gorgeous. The stamps shown here are 70% of the actual size, so they are much bigger in real life, and they're just lovely. So many snowflakes to choose from. I do love snowflakes. The dies are absolutely gorgeous, and so you have got some these two cut out, these stamped images, and that one cuts out that little one, and the rest, the other four even, are sort of standalone snowflakes that you can cut out. And then there's this gorgeous one that sort of cuts out into the card, so can't wait to do something with that one. But we're just using ordinary snowflakes today. So I stamped, I used Misty Moonlight for my prototype, and I kind of done, to make it simple, I did half the sheet cut out this way and half the sheet cut out that way. I just stamped on A4. So very similar but just different orientation. So I just stamped it all over and then did some different things to it. So that's my simple step, and then I added some die cuts. So this is the actual snowflake die cuts, and this is what they look like if they're stamped and die cut. And I did it the other way around for this one. Changed the sentiment on that one. And then on this last one, I kind of do something a little bit different. That one, I actually, it's not a Christmas card, it's a thank you card. Thank you so much. Do like puns. They do appeal to me. And did a bit of layering up of that one, which I quite liked the look of. Okay, so I am going to do half a sheet in Magenta Madness and half a sheet in Cinnamon Cider, so you get to see three of the colours done like this. So what I've got here is I've got 4 thick Whisper White card bases and 4 thick Cinnamon Cider ones. I've got half a sheet of A4 to do sort of a half sheet, one sheet wonder in Magenta Madness, and then I've got half a sheet of Very Vanilla to do the same. So it is like doing a whole sheet. I've just cut them in half, and then I've got the other half sheet to stamp the snowflakes I'm going to die cut. Okay, so let's get the stamping done first. So I have mounted my stamps ready. I'm just going to put my sentiments out of the way, so I don't need them, and I don't need the big ones for now. So for the one sheet wonder, what I've used, there are 2 stamps that are clusters of snowflakes. So I'm using the 2 clusters of snowflakes, and then I've picked out just that little snowflake there. Because I'm cutting them up into quite small bits for a one sheet wonder, I thought a small pattern was better. Okay, so I'm going to do the Cinnamon Cider on that one, and then I'm going to do Magenta Madness, and then my stamps will be forever stained, but hey ho. So I did in first and second generation, so stamp once like that and then randomly stamp the other one somewhere else, so we get variation. That hasn't stamped very well. I might go back in actually and sort of attempt to cover that up, even though I actually can't see a thing. There we go. Oh, that's pretty good, that. Pretty good. Then I'm coming in with this other one and just doing some random stamping, and then the same with this one. I thought this would give me a nice vintage looking Christmas, and you know I like my vintage. Yeah, and I just thought this would be a little bit different. Well, so would Magenta Madness, to be honest, won't it? Very different. Going to come in with a blending brush and just go over. So that's that finished. So now I'm going to do it in Misty Moonlight, but I'll do that speeded up. So that's the two sheets stamped there, and then as you saw on the video, they were then sort of blended. So one of them's going to be cut into strips and one into bigger. So I think I'm going to do this in the strips. So that is half a sheet of A4 and that is a quarter. So I'm going to cut that down on the quarter bit, which is 2 7/8, and then cut this in half there at 4 1/8. So that gives me my 4 rectangles. Obviously, if we're using different sized cardstock, then they will be slightly different, your halves and quarters. So that's the 4 quarters for that. And then for this one, I decided for that is exactly the width of the card. This is 8, this works out at 8 1/4. So I'm just going to cut them. I could cut them at 2 1/8 to give me my strips. I say again, that would be no, it isn't 2 1/8, it's 2 1/16. I just did for ease, I just went at 2, but you can do slightly more if you want, but I've gone for 2 and then I get a little 1/4 inch left over. It's just easier on my head doing it that way. And then just trying to decide which side to cut off. I'll cut off that side because that's already got some nice thick blend in there. So doing it this way, you do waste a tad, but if you were 8.5, then you could do it at 4 1/8, 2 1/8, but we'll just do it at 2. And then I just take a sponge dauber and went round the outside of each. So that's my cinnamon cider one, and that's going to be my Magenta Madness one, because I haven't used a sponge dauber on it, so that one gets denoted to that. So I'll just show you on the one. You can do it with a sponge. I've got a sponge dauber, just to emphasize these edges so they don't have to be matted. You could mat all of these in the Cinnamon Cider or Magenta Madness cardstock, but I wanted to sort of do this with as little supplies as possible, so not using any of the in colour cardstock. So by going around the edges like this, you're giving a nice edge to it so that it will stand out and not require a mat. So that's them all done already. So now we need to do the snowflakes that we are going to cut out. So I've got the two biggest ones mounted. So I'm just going to do a couple of each. And then these can be cut out. And then the other thing I'm going to do is to save on some cardstock. I'll bring in that Gungy one again. So if you haven't got the cardstock, I just stamped using this biggest snowflake and created some solid colour with the ink. You could, I guess, just rub the ink on the thing, but I quite like the effect of having different gradients of the colour. I've done this before and I do like it as an effect. And then if we take the dies, so you can now cut these dies. Can't remember if I used a big one. Let me just double check. No, I just used the 3 smallest ones. I just used those 3. These I need to cut these out. And so you can place these on and cut these out. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do exactly the same with Magenta Madness, and then we'll start putting the cards together. Okay, so I've done all the die cutting and now I'm ready for the stamping, and so I'm going to stick with doing it. I do all these freehand, but I thought I'm going to do it with the Stamperators because I did miss-stamp a couple of times. Because it's photopolymer, you've got to do it on a stamp mat really. I thought I'm going to do it, because I'm on camera, I'm going to do it with my Stamperators. And then if I need to stamp a second time, I can. So I lined that all up and so that I can position my card. I've got the little spongy mat there. I'm going one block over and stamping it down. So I thought I'd show you how I position, just in case you've not done it. I'm going to do 2 with this one and 2 with that one. So I've put my card in, and then I take my sentiment and I'm just going to lay it. I can see through this one. I can see that straight. Pick it up, and then just to check. I think I said Misty Moonlight a second ago. Magenta Madness, of course. The original was Misty Moonlight. But they're both mummers, aren't they? So then I'll just stamp it there. Just to check. Perfect. I can see that's exactly in that line there. And I've kind of drawn where the card base goes there. So it's in a nice position. Quite like that. So I can stick that on now. There we are. Now I've got ink everywhere. Should be fine. There we go. I think I might do a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's assemble our cinnamon cider ones. So we've got 4 cards, and we're going to have the panel like that on each. Now in my practice one, I kept one plain, which you could of course do, but I think I'm going to embellish all of these. I think I'm going for these 2 styles because I like it best. So I've got these that I punched out or die cut like so, and then I did one where I put that and added the little middle one. Powers of 3 is what I am thinking about. Quite like the look of that on there. And then I will put a rhinestone in it, and then that up like that, and then I just put a little one on its own there, and then kind of did a bit of layering up. And I might not bother with the circle. I might just do that on top of that. That one down there. And that one there. I haven't actually cut enough snowflakes to do. I will leave that plain. Okay, so that's how they're all going to get stuck down. And what I did was I took my Wing Castella, and then on these ones I just painted my Wing Castella on it, so it gave it a frosty look on the card. Not sure if that can be seen. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to stick these, and I'm going to add some rhinestones. So I'll do that, speed it up. So that's those 4 done. Oh, might move my little rhinestone there a tad. one. That one, really similar to that one. I just layered up that snowflake. And then that one I've left plain. I might go back and die cut some more. But that's those 4. So now I'll do the Magenta Madness. So that's the Magenta Madness one's done. I had a little bit of sparkle there to the sentiment as well. Didn't leave a plain one. I'd actually cut a few more snowflakes out of the Magenta Madness. And then we have our cinnamon cider. And then we have the original Misty Moonlight. Gosh, I am really cracking on with my Christmas cards. See, I knew I didn't need to start all the way in January this year. So I've done Christmas in July and now I've done Christmas in August. And I'm sure I'll do some more. And yeah, so hope you like that. Hope you go and enjoy what everybody else has done. All the links down below. And if you want any measurements or anything, then we'll put them on my blog post as well. And that'll be linked down below. Okay, thank you for joining me and enjoy the rest of the video hop. See you next month on this, and I'll see you whenever I do my next video. I'm not sure what day of the week this is. Okay, bye-bye now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.